When it comes to the type of government, Lithuania seems to be in line with most other European countries. A mix of free market capitalism and socialism. It's socialist in the sense that the government takes taxes and redistributes that wealth in the form of social benefits, particularly to those who need it the most. But how well does Lithuania do this? Well, it's a pretty huge topic, and even after just a few minutes of research, it's clear that there are so many different cases and scenarios, as well as all sorts of different limitations and exceptions when it comes to government care and benefits. But let's take a look at some of the main areas of interest. Well, a big issue these days, no matter what country you're in, is healthcare. So if you're eligible to pay into Lithuania's public healthcare system, referred to as PSD, then you're covered by the numerous public facilities across the country. These range from non-emergency facilities, known as poliklinika, all the way up to hospitals. If we take Vilnius's Centro Poliklinika, for example, its website notes that the following services are covered and financed under PSD. Ambulatory nursing, palliative medicine and social care services, expensive examinations and procedures such as MRI and CT scans, medical rehab and sanatorium treatment, primary dental care, primary health and mental care services, prevention programs such as cancer screenings, and outpatient healthcare services. You should know, however, that some services will require a special referral, which a medical specialist will need to approve. If you aren't paying PSD or any other kind of emergency medical insurance, then of course hospitals and polyclinics will accept you, but you'll just need to pay out of pocket for the health services you require. It's important to know that some services that might be covered under the public healthcare system may have long and potentially unbearable wait times. This is often cited as one of the major drawbacks of publicly funded healthcare, well, no matter what part of the world you live in. At the same time, after talking to individuals from the UK and knowing the current situation in Canada, it does seem like Lithuania's public healthcare system is doing a lot better than the UK's NHS or many major public hospitals in large Canadian cities. And then, of course, most people know about the absurd and absurdly expensive cost of healthcare in the United States. High costs that don't always equate to higher quality. Those working for a company in Lithuania will have their PSD paid for, but for self-employed people and others, the healthcare premium at the time of making this video is a monthly payment of 6.98% of the minimum monthly wage. So in 2024, this minimum monthly wage is set at 924 euros. Therefore, public health insurance would cost a little over 64 euros a month. Moving on, if you're planning to start a family in Lithuania, in this country, maternity leave is available for 70 calendar days prior to the birth of the child. Lithuania's maternity benefit is equal to 77.58% of your regular earnings for about 4 months. But I think for high-income people, there is a point at which this amount maxes out. Meanwhile, for fathers, a paternity benefit is available for a few months and is also equal to 77.58% of earnings. And then, if I understand correctly, employers are also obligated to hold your job for up to 3 years. Childcare leave benefits are paid out too. Generally speaking, the amount is a percentage of your income, and the longer you choose to take it, the lower that percentage is. It's available until the baby is 2 years old. Additionally, children who are citizens of Lithuania are entitled to what is called a child maintenance benefit every month, right up until they're 18 years old. I believe the current monthly payout is around 96 euros per month. Moving on, if you've lost your job and you need some coverage until finding another job, then you can access the government's unemployment insurance benefits, which consist of 2 parts, fixed and variable. The fixed part of the unemployment benefit is equal to around 170 euros, which is set at 23.27% of the minimum monthly wages. This is about 200 euros a month. The variable part depends on the income you had. In the first 3 months of being unemployed, you are initially entitled to 38.79% of your average insured income, and the percentage gets smaller and smaller over time. So now, let's say you're at the age where you're ready to retire. If you're retired this year, then the basic pension amount is 150 euros per month. If you're a woman retiring in 2024, then you'll need to be 64 years and 4 months to collect your pension, while if you're male, then you must be at least 64 years and 8 months to retire with a pension. When it comes to education, there are public, primary, and secondary schools that people have access to. This is covered by the government, or should I say just taxpayers, while private or religious facilities are not covered. There are also public universities, which Lithuanians have access to. If you're a citizen, then your university education is subsidized and mostly covered. However, there's a catch. Your test scores will need to pass a certain threshold for you to qualify for free post-secondary education. There are a lot of other government services that could be mentioned, but I would say that healthcare, education, social security, and maternity benefits are some of the main categories people often wonder about. So a lot of this sounds pretty great, right? Well, of course, it all does come at a cost, and that's exactly what taxes are for. The tax structure is complex and varies with types of work contracts and other situations. However, very, very generally speaking, taxes range from 22 to 40% of income, depending on your type of employment contract. This is taken off to cover all of these social benefits, pensions, maternity, unemployment, health coverage, etc. Not to mention the long list of other government services. So I have to admit, examining Lithuania's system alone is complicated, and so comparing it with other countries and their complicated systems is just a little too much for me. However, my general sense is that the unemployment benefit and pension are pretty low, while maternity and child benefits seem pretty decent. I get the sense that if you want to enter retirement comfortably, you'll need to plan your finances carefully and put money aside yourself. The provision of public education and healthcare are huge, and as far as I know, the quality of both of these systems is decent. All in all, it seems to me that Lithuania does an alright job at taking care of its people and providing a reasonable level of public service without having too high of a taxation rate. I think even higher taxing countries like Denmark and Finland do provide a lot more social benefits, but clearly there's a major cost to each taxpayer. I'm guessing there's a lot I'm missing. Even in the middle of making this video, I talked to a foreigner who had lived here for almost 20 years, and he seemed quite critical of how the government cares for Lithuanians. Come to think of it, I didn't even get a chance to talk about care for those with disabilities and special needs, which is definitely something that needs to be considered as well. So, what do you think about Lithuania's social system? Do you think it adequately provides for its citizens? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. And finally, the Lithuanian word of the day is mokesčiai, which means taxes. Mokesčiai. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.